I want you to react to the man we just had on, never been reported, bar complaint. Stephen Kramer is there, Georgia taxpayer, saying this is not just disqualification, this is disbarment. She shouldn't even be able to hold this position. Your reaction to the story we just broke?
Yeah, look, I think that she's clearly lied multiple times, and there are no consequences for her. I don't understand what's going on in Georgia, where someone can go on a stand, completely lie. We see the evidence. And not only is she lying, but she's confidently lying. There's nothing worse than somebody who is clearly not being honest, but is so confident in their spin and in their fakeness and in their lie. And that's what we see from her. Everybody sees it. I'm somebody, and you and I have talked about this, I'm somebody who wants to push common sense, not Washington, D.C. spin and newsroom spins, but we outside of D.C. watch, and we can have a barometer for when someone is not giving us common sense. And it's just common sense that she should not be on the case and she should be disbarred.
That case could fall apart. It really is possible with what's happening. And we watch what's happening also right now. Judge Eileen Cannon is listening to Trump's attorneys as we speak. Donald Trump himself, as you know, your former boss inside the courtroom, the nominee for GOP. And basically at issue today are two procedures. They're saying these Jack Smith case needs to be tossed out. This is something her possibly was getting at, because as a former president, this is distinguishing him from other people. The charges should have never been brought, but also something about the Espionage Act. And I know you know this from your time at the White House, but unconstitutional vagueness is what they are going to argue today, because there's some unsettled legal questions about this. And they're saying if these are not settled, Jack Smith's case is moot. Your take on what is happening by Trump's legal teams today, and if Cannon, you think, could actually dismiss everything, Rick?
Well, I have to be careful here because I have testified in front of the grand jury, as reported by CNN when I was inside the courtroom, on this specific case. So let me ignore the specific case, but let me talk about the larger issue here. What is very clear when you look at what Joe Biden did is Joe Biden took classified documents when he was a senator and when he was vice president. In both of those positions, he does not have the ability to declassify information. He would have had to go to his boss, Barack Obama at the time, or to a president when he was in the Senate, to ask them to declassify the documents that he took. He put them in multiple locations for years. That was completely dismissed by the DC types. Completely said, you're off, no problem. We don't think that it's a big deal. Hillary Clinton, the same thing. But Donald Trump, who is president, who has the authority to declassify something in his head, doesn't even have to communicate to anyone else, because the act of communication is just communicating what the decision was in his head. This is what we're dealing with. They're criminally charging this guy. Nothing makes it more clear that the Washington types are just out to get him. People outside of DC using common sense see this, and we're outraged by it.